We've had two updates correcting one of the biggest issues inside Battlefield 6 when it comes to weapon dispersion, or weapon bloom if you want to call it that instead. So the two different updates, one corrected the weapon bloom whilst you're stood still, and the other corrected the weapon bloom as you're coming in and out of animations, whether it's sliding, jumping, or any other movement. Also strafing is included in that as well. Now what that has done is it's made a lot of the weapons feel really good in this game. So now if you haven't realized, you're able to kind of full auto a lot of the guns in this game and actually still get decent amount of kills at decent ranges as well. But not to mention, it's made a lot of the weapons that weren't so useful very, very viable now. And I mean very viable, but some of them are actually pretty ridiculously good. And that's the 5 weapons we're going to cover inside this video. So the first gun is the DRS, and the DRS was always a pretty solid gun, to be honest with you. I think the only issue that let it down, and it's kind of the same issue right now, is its overall handling, since it is an LMG. And the main issue is not necessarily that you move too slow, is that the aim down sight time is slightly too slow. Now, if you're playing any of the larger scale modes and anything out with the close quarters modes that you're probably seeing the gameplay in the background of, then this is not going to be an issue whatsoever. But what is great about this gun is that if you are running and moving and then you just have to come to a quick standstill to get your shots off, it's going to be ridiculously good. But the main thing that I want to point out about this gun now, opposed to before, is that if you want to strafe and fire this gun, oh my god, this gun is just miles better than it was before, and it feels like you just never miss a shot with the DRS. Now, it's not got the highest damage profile or fastest time to kill when it comes to the LMGs in this game in its entirety, but when it comes to having that strafe mobility on an LMG and you're firing out range, it feels ridiculously good to not miss any shots whatsoever. And that's what this gun gives you. It makes sure you're landing every single shot, even though you're trying to be agile and stay on the move relatively well anyway. And that is what the DRS feels like, in my opinion. I feel like it's such a really, really good gun right now, and it fits in a really weird spot where it's almost like an AR, but not quite an AR, but it has better bullet velocity and overall better control as well than assault rifles do. So you get the trade-offs, but it's definitely super useful at longer ranges now. Next up, we've got the NVO-228, and I'll be completely honest with you, the reason why I put this gun on the list is because I died to it far too many times, especially after this update, and I don't even know why people were using this gun, because the base weapon felt absolutely terrible to me when I just unlocked it. But I leveled it up, got it to about level 10, and then I put the shorter mags on, so this is the 20 round mags, and also tried to go for a bit more of a mobility build, especially because I play a lot of the close quarters modes, and this gun just deletes enemies. It's actually killing ridiculously fast. It's almost like a 2-tap with a full auto gun. It is actually ridiculous. The damage profile is the kind of higher end of the assault rifles, but like I said, if you put those faster mobile attachments on this gun, and you don't really need a 30 round mag on the MVO because it actually kills ridiculously quick, and the damage per mag even on the 20 rounds is perfect enough. This gun absolutely slaps, by the way. You're not really losing any gunfights with this weapon in hand. And what the update has definitely helped with this weapon is, like I said, coming in and out of those animations and making sure you're still getting those shots off first. And the thing is, you don't even need to get shots off first with the MVO. Even if you get shots off second, then you're still going to get the kill because this gun is just ridiculously good like that. So overall, the MVO just got a massive benefit to these changes. And one of the other benefits is similar to the DRS, where you can strafe a little bit more with this gun and still land your shots. And I think that's what's going to help out the assault rifles a little bit more. And I feel like the assault rifles in general got a bit of a buff with these two updates. Next up, we've got the single most gun that probably benefited from these two updates, and that is the M433. Now, you probably moved on very quickly from this gun because it was a starting assault rifle. Once you unlocked absolutely anything else, you probably moved on from this, but I'm here to tell you that you need to go back and try this gun again. The M433, when this game came out, was not the best gun ever. It was actually pretty bad, to be honest with you, in terms of time to kill, in terms of pretty much every stat available. But when it comes to now, this gun is super low recoil and the bloom is almost non-existent. You can full auto this gun at range and you'll probably see it in the background gameplay as well, and you'll absolutely land every single shot. This gun can do almost everything now, which makes it kind of scary, to be honest, because I've used it in close quarters, and to be honest, it outperforms a lot of the SMGs and carbines, which obviously it's going to do because of the damage profile. But then also at long range, it's really good as well. So if you're playing the larger scale modes, you build it out correctly, you're going to get decent kills at range as well. And like I said, in that mid range, you're able to full auto this gun without a problem at all. And I know it sounds ridiculous to say, you do want to be tap firing when you can, because you will be landing way more shots, but if you still like holding down that trigger, then this is definitely a gun that you should go back and try out, because it allows you to do that, and you're outputting a decent amount of damage as well whilst doing so. So overall, the M433 is worth trying out, man. This gun is actually so fun to use now, and I would never thought I would say that about the M433, because I never really liked this gun at all to begin with. But like I said, go back and try it, trust me. Now, I was going to put the M277 on this list, and I suppose it's my honorable mention for this video, but it's got nothing on the M4-170A2. I'm not going to lie to you, man, this gun is the dream to use. Now, both of these guns that I just mentioned did get a major buff with these two updates. They both feel really, really good, but the M4-170A2 just feels the best, man. I love this gun. It feels just amazing and incredible to me. I don't know how many good words I'm going to use to describe it, but it has the higher damage profile, which helps it out a ton. It does have a slightly slower fire rate though, but I don't think that really matters too much, especially if you want to try and control it at farther ranges. It definitely helps it out a bit more. But in those close quarters game modes, man, I don't lose a single gunfight with the M4-170A2. This gun just feels ridiculously good to me. I don't even know why it feels so good, but it just does, right? You have to go back and try this one, especially raising and lowering the gun now. There's no bloom when you're trying to kind of get up from prone stances, or if you're trying to get into prone stances, it's going to help you out a ton there. And just overall, it feels really good and mobile as well. If you're trying to come up against SMGs too, it performs ridiculously well. And if you're coming up against long range weapons, if you want to obviously build it out for more longer range, you can definitely do that too. Just be careful of the mag size, obviously, because it is 20 rounds, but you can extend that as well if you are using it for range. But overall, this gun is my favorite gun on this entire list. But there is another gun that has got significant improvements, and that's why I have to put it at number 1. But like I said, this is my favorite. At number 1, and almost the whole reason I made this video for, is the GRT BC. I don't know why this gun feels so good right now, and I don't know what they did in this update to make this gun so good, but this gun is ridiculously good at everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. At close range, it competes with SMGs, no problem at all. It has some of the best movement for a carbine weapon in the game, and also it's got the fire rate to back it up, and a slightly better damage profile than most of the SMGs too. So overall, you've got no issues there. Also, the hip fire on this gun is insanely good if you put the correct attachments on there as well. Then when it comes to the ADS times and things like that, very competitive as well, especially with the SMGs. And then when you're trying to build this gun out for long range, it actually works as well. I don't know why this gun has pretty much no recoil. It's got no recoil, no bloom. The recoil is pretty much straight vertical, so you just need to compensate for that a little bit. But that is basically nothing, especially comparing it to a lot of the other guns in this game. And the bloom, again, is non-existent too, because you can literally have no bloom with this gun. Firing it at full auto as well, by the way, not just burst firing, which it does do well at range, but if you're trying to full auto this gun, you definitely can without an issue. So this gun is just ridiculously good. They've just made this an absolute laser for no reason, but it's actually a really, really fun gun to use at the same time. Now, in terms of building this gun out, you can do it in many different ways. Like I said, you can build it close quarters if you really want to, which is what I've done in this video, and then you can also build it for long range as well, which it also performs pretty decently at range. But overall, man, this gun just feels far too good right now, and I'm assuming they will kind of dial this gun back at some point, like I said, but for the most part, man, this gun, you cannot go wrong with it, so you definitely want to try this one out as well. So those are the 5 guns you might want to revisit after the dispersion updates. I did want to make an updated video on some guns that you might want to go back to and try out, whether it's for long range or even close range now that they've kind of tuned the movement mechanics. I think this actually helps out a lot of the weapons a ton, and even you can go back to some of the weapons that you've tried before and felt like they weren't really doing too well. Those guns will also feel a little bit better to you as well. But this also in general helps out a lot of the weapons for RedSec too. I do want to quickly mention that as I'm still here, because this is a major update for RedSec, because it's going to help a lot of the weapons be viable for longer ranges, and that's kind of the big update here as well. But if you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we'll be making way more Battlefield 6 and RedSec content, of course. And thank you very much for watching.